father of 5 and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first. Behind the back. It's still up there. Here comes Knight in the next wave.
See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait. Ah! All the baby is out on the field. He's going to go to the end zone. Looking, throwing in the end zone.
You're tuned into Game On with Josh Silverberg and Eric Bowe. Talking all things sports. It's
Game on! Yeah, game on!
Game On, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
And we're live, everybody. Happy Thursday to all of you. This is Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Silverberg. My co-host, Eric Bowe. He is out tonight due to family stuff going on, but that's okay. And, of course, Speedy Petey on the board. What's happening, man?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to some March Madness and our baseball draft as well. Are you still in the league? I think we're drafting over the weekend.
We are drafting over the weekend. That is happening at believe at 4:30 on Saturday.
Yeah. That got it to move it for about.
I have another draft also at 9:30 on Saturday night as well. But I believe last year I was the runner-up.
You were. You actually. We both lost to the 4 seed. The 4 seed beat me because I had the bye. I think you had the bye. The 4 seed beat me in the second round and then beat you in the finals.
Well, listen, we all can't. Well, I believe it because my secret weapon was on the team last year, which wound up not being a secret weapon. Ketel Marte, and also all the pitchers that I picked up consistently last year that were studs. I don't even remember who was on my team last year. Lots to get into. Gerrit Cole, what do the New York Yankees do going forward? Brian Cashman already saying there's nobody like Gerrit Cole walking through that door right now, so we can't worry about it. We'll talk about that. March Madness has already gotten started. The Johnnies destroying Butler today. Why Rick Pitino was still not happy with the team's performance, albeit I thought they shot the three-point ball very well. They were last in the conference in three-point shooting. I thought they shot it pretty well today. That we'll get into a little bit of the NFL free agency. The New York Jets have a new quarterback in Justin Fields, and the New York Giants, well, they are in what we like to call the Aaron Rodgers vortex. We are waiting and waiting and waiting, and we know he's just going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
So that, and Speedy's going to chime in a lot tonight. Got started early, Speedy. How about that? See what happens when I don't pick you up? It saves time.
Well, you got here early last week too, so you're.
I did. I'm on just a nice little, as we call it, Speedy, a roll, as you say, or as we call, in the words of Lou Brown, that's what we call a winning streak. If we win 3, that's 3 in a row. But
sounds like the Giants' projected win total.
Well, at this, I guess we'll start with that, Speedy, because since you really want to dive into that, I know you've dove into that a good amount on the job of the mouth. But all the free agency moves have made the New England Patriots. Also, by the way, you can check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok for Job of the Mouth, I believe.
Yes, and we're on Twitter as well and Facebook.
We're on Twitter?
Job in the mouth is on
Job
Twitter.
in the mouth. Oh, I'm not. I'm not.
Well, you are on Twitter.
I am on Twitter. That's true because I do post it on the page. I do. We'll update you on some of the scores going on that has happened. Did North Carolina win today?
They did. So they're going to play Duke next without Cooper Flag.
Well, we'll discuss that in a little bit. And my Wisconsin Badgers, boy, just freaking. Can you just make it simple? Just once. You beat Northwestern by 7, who played yesterday. Anyway, we'll start with the football news. And the New York Jets have a new quarterback, and his name is Justin Fields. And people are wondering my opinion on that. By the way, 631-672-3108 is the phone number to call. So Justin Fields is the new quarterback for the New York Jets. It's almost like a redo of a couple years ago when they could have drafted him and they said, nah, we like Zach Wilson because he made his back shoulder throw with no pads on in his pro day. Gotta have him. The problem with the New York Jets is, well, they have a lot of problems, but they also have $50 million in dead salary cap space. One of those issues, and the reason is Joe Douglas. And Joe Douglas, they just cut C.J. Mosley yesterday, which is more dead cap hit money. And the problem with that was the constant restructuring of contracts, which is what Joe Douglas kept doing and doing and doing. One guy I find very interesting that he's on the team still is Alan Lazard. And I'm trying to think to myself, okay, I know the wide receiving depth chart is awful after Gerrit Wilson. I mean, you have Malachi Corley. You're hoping maybe this new system can help Corley out, possibly. Excuse me. But my thought process is when I look at what the New York Jets are trying to do is they've had enough of just stop trying to go all in for the whether it's the sexy draft pick or it's the big name quarterback. Because let's call it like it is. If Woody Johnson had his hands on this organization, do we really think Justin Fields would be the quarterback of this team? Yes or no? And the answer is I don't think so. And the New York Jets actually now have a quarterback, albeit is he great? No. Is he passable? I think so. They actually have an athletic quarterback, something they really have never had. They have a quarterback who's a dual threat guy. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He's got a good arm. It's his accuracy that's the problem. But when I look at where the New York Jets stand right now in their quarterback situation, and of course we're not just going to make this the Jets show, other teams too, is the Jets are saying to themselves, okay, we're going to give him a 2-year deal. What they give him, $30 million guaranteed, low risk, high reward kind of contract. We don't have a guy on the roster. He was teammates with Gerrit Wilson. He was teammates with Jeremy Ruckert at Ohio State. We'll keep Gerrit Wilson happy, and we will bring Justin Fields into the fold, and we'll see where that goes and everything of that nature. The Aaron Rodgers dead cap hit, I believe, is $49 million. That's a killer. CJ Mosley, like I said, it's $50 million for the next 2 years. The Jets have $50 million dead cap space. After 2 years, it's over. But it's going to be a nightmare with the cap for the next 2 years for this team because of all the restructuring deals and the longevity. They should have cut ties with Mosley maybe 2 or 3 years ago and everything of that nature. But what I'm noticing with the New York Jets is they're trying to make the team faster on defense. That's what they're trying to do. They got the safety from Jacksonville, they call him a ball hawk. They got the corner Stevens from Baltimore. You still have Sauce there. You still have Michael Carter there. But you're also signaling they signed Jamie Sherwood, favorite here at the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Yep.
You now have Sherwood and Quincy Williams as your linebackers, which is speed in the middle of the field. And the New York Jets need that. And now the question is, you have Jermaine Johnson coming back. You have Quinnen Williams, who I find to be overrated. That's just my opinion on Quinnen. Where do the New York Jets go to in the draft? Do you trade the pick down? You lost Morgan Moses in free agency. Do you take the Campbell from LSU? Do you take the kid that's rising up on the boards from Missouri, who had a good combine? And do you set your tackle spot for years to come? Because Aaron Glenn came from Detroit, which is what they're known for their offensive line, and they're just keeping it consistent for years to come. Because the Jets have Vera Tucker, they have John Simpson, and they have Joe. Oh my God, what's
Tippmann.
Joe? They have Joe Tippmann.
You forgot your own
I
Wisconsin
know,
guy?
I did. Bad job. And then they have Fashanu. It's been a long time since the Jets have kind of, they're connected with their continuity, as I like to say, at the offensive line position. Every year they're always shuffling around. Who can we get? Who can we bring in? What veterans can we sign? They have 4 of the 5 spots done. And the thought process is, do you bring in one of these offensive linemen? If the LSU guy is not there, do you bring in the Missouri kid and solidify your tackle spots for the next 8-9 years that way? Because Fashanu got hurt at the end of the year, but when he did play, and it wasn't a major injury, it was a fluky one, but it was at the end of the year anyway. When he did play, he was fantastic at left tackle. So do you go that route? Do you go the route of, if McMillan is there from Arizona, do you take him? I don't think he's going to be there, but if he's there, do you take him? Do you take Graham from Michigan, the interior defensive lineman, to put in with Quinnen Williams to help with the run defense? Do you go that route? Do you trade the pick down and accumulate picks? Do you trade up, which I don't want them to do, and get Cam Ward? They're going to have to trade the farm for that. Do you do the unthinkable? If Shedeur slides and he's there, do you take him at 7? I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to want to deal with that. I don't think Shedeur's going to be there anyway. I think somebody in the top 6 is going to take him, or they're going to trade up for him. Do you reach on Jackson Dart at 7? I don't think so. So the way I look at it is this. The New York Jets are saying to themselves, okay, Justin Fields is how old? 25? Let's bring him in for 2 years. Let's see what he's got in this offense. We're going to do a dual-style offense where he can use his legs. My thinking is, I think they're going to take the tackle, whether it's the LSU kid or it's the kid from Missouri, and solidify the offensive line so they could give Fields as much protection as possible. Because if he wants to run the football, he also gets to learn from one of the better dual threat quarterbacks in the last few years, in Tyrod Taylor, who it doesn't always portray to success, Taylor, but when he does play, it's pretty good. He's always hurt, but he is a good veteran to lean on. And they're the exact same type of quarterback. I mean, that helps. I think other teams that did the New England Patriots just ran roughshod.
Pretty much.
I mean, this is what they do when they did this a couple years ago too. They just went nuts. But listen, Mike Vrabel knew what he needed on this team. They signed they tried to get Chris Godwin, but Godwin said, nah, I'm good. I'm good with Baker. I'm good. So Godwin went
I don't
back
want to play with Josh McDaniel.
Listen, there's still good. A lot of receivers still on the market too. Stephon Diggs is still there, which is shocking. I guess because he's older, he's coming off the injury. But somebody will take a flyer. Keenan Allen's still there, But the big question that everybody keeps saying, what are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do at quarterback, and what are the New York Giants going to do at quarterback? We know Russell Wilson was in Cleveland. He left Cleveland. He's flying to New York. Oh, what a coincidence. He's flying to New York on a Friday to hang out in New York. Him and Ciara will probably be there together. Yeah. And the Giants fans are thinking, oh, goodness. We wait on Aaron. Here's the thing. You tell me if I'm wrong, Speedy. You're a Giants fan. I don't think the Giants like that any of these quarterbacks, because if they did, they wouldn't have been trying so hard to get Stafford, and they wouldn't be waiting and sitting on their hands for Rodgers, and they wouldn't be waiting to meet with Russell Wilson. I feel like if the quarterback you like is there and you feel he could play, why did they try to the Stafford? If you want to do the Wilson or the Rodgers or the Wilson one as a kind of a, I guess, what do they call those? The quarterbacks that step in for a bit and then bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
But the one with Stafford is the interesting one, because they were going to give Stafford a big contract.
So are the Raiders, apparently.
But the thing is, with the Giants, do they not like the quarterbacks that much in this draft? If they were willing to give Matthew Stafford a big contract that he was going to get, why were they going to give him a 3-year deal when they were going to draft the quarterback then? And that leads me to believe that Joe Schoen does not like these quarterbacks. Here's the thing, though. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers, you either have Russell Wilson or pick of the litter. One of those pick of the litters, Gardner Minshew, signed as the backup with the Chiefs a few minutes ago. And I'm not a big Minshew guy, but Minshew would have at least been plausible. I mean, there is a serious possibility that a guy like Carson Wentz could be the quarterback of this team next year. Because when you look at the free agent market, what do you decide? Kirk Cousins?
Jameis Winston, I think, is another possibility.
I mean, is that what you're going to throw? And the thing is, the Falcons have not cut Kirk Cousins, by the way. It seems that they're going to keep Cousins around. So, are you with Brian Dable and Joe Schoen's jobs on the line, and you sign Jameis Winston? Is that going to, what is that going to do for you? The Giants are in an impossible, awful, probably the worst situation you could possibly be in as a franchise, because this draft this year is not great for quarterbacks, and the free agent market is awful. I mean, you literally right now, your top of your list are Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, with no offensive line that the Giants have, and Rodgers who can't really move anymore, how's that going to work? And I think that's why he is going to go to Pittsburgh, by the way. And I think he should go to the Steelers. And really quickly, not to get off topic, I know Errol was talking about today about the whole Pickens-Metcalf situation. By the way, Metcalf is a much better receiver than George Pickens is, my opinion.
Yeah, they have the same flaws, though.
Same flaws. Metcalf is a much better receiver. It's not even close. It's not close. It's not close. Go look at the numbers. Go look at the numbers. Go look at the trajectory of the two. I'd much rather have Metcalf than Pickens. But if you have Aaron Rodgers with Pittsburgh, which, listen, if you're Aaron Rodgers, it's a no-brainer to not go to Pittsburgh. Why wouldn't you? You have a really good defense. You have one of the better coaches in the league in Mike Tomlin. And you have two really good receivers in Pickens and Metcalf. Why would you not go to the Steelers? Now, you're going to lose Najee Harris in free agency, but whatever, it is what it is. Do the Steelers have their first-round pick this year?
Yeah.
So then take, I don't know. Take a running back.
You very much could do that.
Take one.
There's enough running backs in this draft.
I mean, Gentry's going to get picked in the top 10.
Yeah, I think he could go to Chicago.
Oh, Errol and I have a bet.
Oh,
actually going on. He doesn't think, and I disagree with him, that the Penn State tight end, what's the Penn State tight end?
Tyler Warren.
Warren is not going to be picked in the first round.
What? No, he's definitely getting picked.
And I said, I think he's going top 15. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 10. I think he's going to Miami.
I think you go to Indianapolis, I'm thinking.
Miami.
Okay.
I said Tyler Warren is definitely getting picked. I wouldn't even be shocked if the Jets picked him at 7.
The Jets could, I don't know if they would pick him at 7, but they could trade back. That could be a good option if they trade back
I would,
a little.
but to me, how I view this is the Giants are in an impossible situation right now with their organization. The flaws, they don't have a quarterback. And here's the problem. You have a lame duck head coach and a lame duck GM going into this year, having a win mandate by your owner who said, I better be happy by this time next year. How are you going to be happy? That's my my marketing. How are you going to be happy? Because I don't think Cam Ward's going to be there at 3 unless they trade up. I think Cleveland's going to take him. Are you going to take Shador?
Oh, God.
They might have to out of desperation to do this to save their jobs. They don't have they possibly. And by the way, everybody's assuming that Arch Manning's coming out next year. He has not given that at all. The only way I've heard he's coming out is if he's guaranteed the #1 overall pick next year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no guarantee that he's coming out next year. Everybody is assuming that he's coming out. And we all talk about the quarterback class for next year. Who's ones that are coming out next year? You got the kid from Penn State.
Yeah, who's been up
He's
and
horrible
down.
in big games.
Yeah, he's been very up and
Who's
down.
there's a few other ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to see this draft class. I know the UCLA kid is good, Moore, and he was another one that was high on.
Good, another West
prospect
Coast
recruits.
quarterback. Okay, that worked. That'll work wonders for people.
The Clemson kid, Klubnik, is probably going to be a high one too because he had a good year. He had a good end of the year last year.
I mean, trying to think who's the quarterbacks next year, Speedy?
Yeah, Allers. Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah, that's a good one.
He's from
LSU. And the kid from Florida.
He's been mediocre so
he's
far.
He's been. I like his traits, but yeah, he's been kind of.
But you understand what I'm saying though with these kids?
And then there's the kid from Florida that played at the end of the year that looked good. A lot of people are high on him. That's probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Arch Manning's not coming out, then this draft class is not anywhere near as good as people are thinking.
Unless one of them have one of those big Heisman years, then maybe.
I don't see it. I don't get a visual of it. I'm not understanding it, and I look at the whole situation and the possibility of, okay, where are we right now? If you're the New York Giants. You're in nowhere so because here's the thing, if you don't get Aaron Rodgers, which I think he's going to Pittsburgh or Minnesota, and if you don't get Russell Wilson, who are you going with? Who? We laugh about it. You were joking with me.
Jameis Winston. That's a little bit.
Or Carson Wentz. And we laugh about it, but it seriously could possibly Trey Lance. Another one.
No. He's the Beavs quarterback of the future. You can't discard a Trey Lance like that.
No. But the point being is this. I don't understand, what people want the Giants to do. You're not just going to take Shador because the jobs are on the line. But the thing is, I think what John Mara should have done is he should have restarted this whole thing. Let Shane go, let Dable go, and just restart the whole process. Because you've put them in an impossible situation they're not going to be able to get themselves out of. Now, if they win 7-8 games, okay, you keep them. They have no quarterback. They have no running back. Their offensive line is not that great. Other than Neighbors, who are they throwing the football to? Their defense is...
Oh, don't worry. They brought back Darius Slayton.
Their defense is not that good. So, I just... Who are the winners, do you think, in free agency that did well? I liked what... I think what Baltimore did getting Hopkins was interesting. Because here's the thing. Every time we think they get an over-the-hill receiver like a Steve Smith or a Lee Evans or something like that, they wind up having good seasons. So,
Yeah.
I mean, all Hopkins has to do is be a number 3 receiver behind Bateman and Flowers.
Yeah.
That's all he's got to do.
They need a big body guy.
Yeah, that's all they got to... It's all he's got to do. He doesn't... Like, Kansas City brought him in to be the number 1 guy. They did.
Yep.
And he's not there anymore. Baltimore's bringing him in to be the 3rd behind Flowers and Bateman. Be mentors to those guys. So I thought what Buffalo did was the Bosa signing was out of left field.
Mm-hmm.
Although I just don't know if you're replacing Von Miller with Joey Bosa is really an upgrade.
It's just more financially because Von Miller's contract was really
bad. Of course.
And he had the off.
I mean, you could have, but you could have restructured the contract. What off-field issues?
He was accused of beating up a pregnant woman, I think.
When did that happen?
Like a year and a half ago. While he was still there, yeah. And then it gave some case.
I mean, is Joey Bosa really Is Joey Bosa a saint himself?
I mean, compared to Von Miller, what he did recently.
Well,
yeah,
then, yeah,
I would say.
But my thought process, I like, what Buffalo did was fascinating. Miami, I'm scratching my head with Miami.
Don't worry, they got Zach Wilson for a revenge game against the Jets.
He's going to play. We laugh, but he's going to play.
Yep. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Jets.
I mean, Sean Payton had him as his number 3 last year after they traded for him. So, Washington,
Oh, yeah.
What they did was incredible. Getting first off, trading for Tunzel, fantastic. Trading for Debo, fantastic. So they got better. Philly, they're gonna have a all new DB backfield next year. Their whole defensive backfield's gone. So, we see, what they're doing. I don't know. I just feel like I don't think there's any really one team that really, really, really stood out this year, per se. I think Washington won by the trades they made. But do you know of a team that really stood out to you other than New England? Went
I like the
bad?
I like the Bears and the Vikings.
Well, do you think the Bears overpaid for the center?
No, I think
Really?
I think he's young
What was
enough.
it? 18? What did he get? 18 mil?
I think he's young enough, and he's more of a higher trajectory. Yeah, 42 million for 3 years is definitely high, but I think he's young enough. He's gotten better the last 2 years, which is usually we want to see out of a player. They make 2 good trades.
Give me 3 teams you liked what they did. You said the Bears won.
The Vikings, I think a lot too. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave.
Yeah, they improved that defense, huh?
Yeah,
as if they needed to do that anymore than they already did.
Yeah, but again, I think their main issue was the inside run. That's how they got exposed against the Lions when they played at the end of the season, and even the first game they played in. I think the Vikings definitely were a winner. Washington, I agree with you, is definitely a winner. I don't love what the Patriots did. I know you mentioned the Patriots.
I think they just overspent.
I think they need to spend more on offense. I don't think they spent enough on offense.
They didn't spend any on offense.
Yeah.
They literally didn't do anything on offense. They had who does May have? I know they tried for Godwin, but I mean, and then who are the 3 losers you would say?
I think they're one of them, the Patriots.
Okay.
I would say the Texans. I don't get what they're doing. They're trading Tunsil.
Why would they trade Tunsil when their offensive line's already mediocre?
Really bad last year in pass blocking. And they traded their other guard too, their first round pick to Philly for Tunsil.
And they got Gardner Johnson, who's not that great anymore anyway.
Yeah.
They got him for nothing because Philly couldn't deal with him anymore.
Yeah, I didn't get what they were doing at all. The Bengals are losing pieces. I mean, they're trying to rebirth everything, but it's got to be very hard with all they're going to lose on defense once they're going to have to pay all their offense.
And your third loser is
the Bengals. I don't think they're getting a bunch of mediocre defensive.
So then you only gave me 2 winners. You gave me 2. You only gave me the Vikings and you gave me the Commanders
and the Bears.
On the Bears.
And the Bears.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I was surprised Green Bay didn't do anything really.
I think I thought they were going to make a trade for one of those edge rushers that were available.
I think they were going to get a receiver. They need a veteran receiver in that room because they're putting too much reliance on Watson.
Yeah,
they're treating Watson
3 games he's good per year.
I mean, they're treating Watson like he's his next big thing, which in big games he can be good, but he just does not stay healthy.
Yeah, he's on a contract here.
So I thought they would have tried for Metcalf. I thought it would have been a
good They were one of the favorites, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at it in this perspective. When's the draft is?
April 26th, I believe.
Okay. I have a lot to go into before that. But as we transition from the what do you call it, the gridiron?
Yes.
Let's get to the diamond. Mm-hmm. Gerrit Cole out for the season with Tommy John surgery, which we all expected, right? We all knew that was going to happen. I mean, I will say this, though. Gerrit Cole got the Yankees, though. He knew something was wrong when he accepted that option. He had an injury-riddled season last year. You're telling me you think he didn't know something was up? Come on. Mm-hmm. He knew. So, and I didn't see a job in the mouth. I didn't get the reaction from Errol. His thoughts were
that he wasn't surprised on that's why he got the regular contract, not a new contract. They just kept the other one. So he figured something was up because of that.
Why he took the Yankee option?
Yeah.
Of course he knew he was hurt. Is Errol concerned?
He said a little bit, but he still thinks their offseason was good enough to still
the American League is absolutely putrid. It's awful. Name me a team that's going to compete with the Yankees in the American League. Do you want to say Detroit? Are they ready? Is Kansas City ready? I mean, Wick got hurt. Thankfully, he's fine. But are they ready? Are the Red Sox making waves? I mean, I have to say the Red Sox getting Bregman, they had a pretty nice offseason, the Red Sox.
Yeah, they got some pitching too. They add a little more depth.
Giolito got hurt again, but yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Jeez.
he's on the IL again. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, but how about the Tampa Bay Rays situation? Did you see that one? The stadium.
Oh, the stadium
deal fell through. What
I
a
did.
mess.
Well, yeah, they could have had their what was it, the duel with Montreal that was
What a
rumored.
mess.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna. They're trying to get Sternberg out of there. All the owners are. They want him out. I don't know what they're gonna do. I could see them moving to Nashville.
Yeah.
I don't think they're moving back to Montreal.
No. The rumor was a dual stadium.
No. That I would love for them to go back to Montreal. It's just if they just put the stadium in Tampa instead of St. Petersburg, it would make more sense. Like, I don't know. But who's gonna be like the Astros are whatever they are. I mean, what's his name? Who's the freshest and they signed?
Christian Walker.
Walker's hurt already. The Astros are on the decline. I mean, are the Rangers going to be fluky and have one of these years with Bochy again?
Don't worry, they got Jacob deGrom healthy for now.
I mean, but it's interesting because when I was talking to Eric about he'll be back at the beginning of 2026. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
I said, how old is Gerrit Cole? 37?
35, I believe.
So DeGrom had the surgery when he was, 35 too, 36?
I believe he was 35 as well, yeah.
And he missed almost 2 years.
Cole's 34. He's going to turn 35.
So DeGrom missed almost 2 years. He made, 3 starts in 2023?
Yep.
Made, 3 in 2024 at the end of the year? He's gone for the next 2 years. I mean, he's out. And what was once a massive strength for the Yankees, because now Luis Seals he's probably out till July. So what was once a strength for the Yankees, you're concerned about, really concerned about, because now you're now, because Stanton, he might be out for the year. Stanton even said it. I'm very concerned about this. And usually when Stanton gets injuries, he's out. He's injured for a certain number of time, but he'll come back for the postseason. Has a great postseason. You might not get that from him this year. LeMahieu's hurt again. They already said Oswaldo Cabrera and Oswaldo Peraza are going to be the two for the third base job. When all you could have just done is just sign Gleyber Torres to a 1-year deal and just had Chisholm at third base. You're banking on a 37-year-old Goldschmidt. You're banking on Cody Bellinger to be an MVP type of year he had a couple years ago with the Dodgers. Judge is going to get hurt at some point. I'm not trying to say it's the poo-poo on the Yankees or go fooey on the Yankees with what they're trying to do. But if you're a Yankee fan, you should be concerned. You should be worried. Not about winning the American League. That's fine. They should still win the American League. Let's call it like this. The Guardians, they trade everybody off. That's what they do. Who's scaring you in the division? The Rays are doing whatever they're doing. The Blue Jays are awful. We'll get to Vladdy in a second about what he wants. The Red Sox, I have to see. Baltimore got worse. I mean, go look at the National League. The Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Mets, the Braves, all these teams, right? Big teams. The Yankees are literally like, it's the Yankees and it's everybody. Like, I can't sit here and say there's another team in the American League that is able to compete with the Yankees, because the next best team in the American League, I'll say it, is probably the Detroit Tigers. And are the Tigers ready to compete with the Yankees? That's the question I don't know about. And I'm not sure if they're ready to do that just yet. I think they're still a very young team. You got Scuba there, just won the Cy Young. You have players there. You have AJ Hinch as the manager. I think the bigger thing was, are they going to get Alex Bregman? They didn't get Bregman. I thought they should have gotten Bregman.
He took less.
So he took less. Yeah. I thought Bregman should just also went back to Houston. That's my thought. But I mean, I think there's only two. I think it's the Tigers. Do you want to maybe say the Royals? Because they got I mean, and they have the pitchers in
Reagan's
and Reagan's, and what's the other one?
the great Seth Lugo.
No, yeah. I mean,
That's
Boston. I'm curious about because you have Cachet, Bregman, and Devers in the middle of that lineup. Like that's pretty nice. And you have Crochet leading the rotation. It's the rest of the rotation that scares me for the Red Sox, and it's the bullpen.
And lineup depth is not great either. Like it's probably
no. Like I said, the middle of their lineup is fine with Bregman, Devers, and Cachet.
And you got Jaron Duran too. At least
Duran too is good. Yeah. I mean, is that the next best team in the American League? I said all the top. Like, I think. Hold on a second.
It's probably you're dealing with those three and maybe the Orioles if they can keep their pitching healthy, but they can never do that.
Let me see.
Can you trust? Like they didn't get enough veteran pitching. They got Charlie Morton, and that was it in the offseason.
All right, let me look at over unders.
I would imagine, it's got to be.
So they have the Dodgers at 103.
Okay,
that's crazy.
Of course.
The Braves at 93.
Really? They're second. Wow.
Phillies at 91. The Mets at 90. The Yankees at 89. The Diamondbacks at 87. The Astros at 87. Let me tell you this right now. I actually might place a bet on this. I would take the Diamondbacks over 86.
I would too. They got very unlucky with pitching injuries last year.
Now you got Burns, Gallen, and I think Kelly will be better.
And Fott too was good last year.
People are buying the Rangers too, 85.5.
Sure.
Red Sox 86.5. So you see what I'm saying? Like, let's see. You have in the National League 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the top 8. And then in the National League, in the American League, you have 3. The Yankees, the Orioles, and the Astros. I don't know. Like they have I would take the Tigers over 83.5 too. Probably, because here's the thing: you're going to get the White Sox 13 times.
True.
So I don't think people realize that one. I mean, you got the White Sox at 53.5. You think they're really going to win over 50 games? But I think if you're a Yankee fan, you have to be. You still listen. The season's not over. That's the one thing everybody keeps saying. The season's over. It's over. It's done. We're dead. We're not winning anything. I mean, are you better than the Dodgers? No. Are you better than the Phillies? I don't know.
Depends on which Phillies bullpen you get.
Are you better than the Braves?
I mean, the Braves are still kind of banged up, so probably.
Are they better than the Mets?
Yeah, the Mets are banged up too, unfortunately.
Are they better? Let me ask you this. If it's Phillies, Yankees, who are you taking?
Probably the Phillies, but
Braves, Yankees, who are you taking?
If the Braves are healthy, I'm taking the Braves, but
Mets, Yankees, who are you taking?
Tough to tell with what pitching you're going to get. I probably would lean the Yankees right now, but I don't know. It's tough to tell. If the Mets could get their pitching formula like last year, though, it's definitely interesting.
Well, Manaea came back healthy, by the way. He's throwing today.
Yeah. Good signs.
Yep.
For now.
So, I don't know. It's fascinating. I think the whole situation with what is happening right now in regards to where the Yankees are to me, I think it's a interesting dynamic of where they're at with their rotation, the depth that they have. Now they still have enough and everything like that. To me, I love the fact that they built on that bullpen, right? They traded for Devin Williams. They brought back Tim Hill. You have to lean on that. But the funny thing is, they tried to trade Stroman, and now Stroman, I think, is going to be the opening day starter for the New York Yankees. Funny as that is, he gets 2 years in a row of that, by the way, if he gets it. Because Boone came out and said that Fried is not going to be the opening day starter. And everybody was having a conniption about it. Oh, well, why is he not the opening day starter? We put all this money into him. What is going on? Let me ask you, who was the opening day starter for the Yankees last season? Do you remember? Stroman was the home opener.
You're right. I don't think it was Cole. It might have been Rodon.
No, I can tell you who it was.
You do?
It was Nestor Cortez.
Oh.
See? Does anybody remember that? Who cares?
Right.
I know it's symbolic. It's opening day. We got to get excited. We got to put the fannies in the seats. We have to get all the hoopla and the excitement and everything out. The reality of this is, with regards to the New York Yankees and where they're at, they're still in a good position. As Brian Cashman said, Aaron Boone, Gerrit Cole is not walking through that door. There is nobody that's Gerrit Cole walking through that door. So we have to deal with what we're doing. Maybe it's Will Warren, right, who is their top pitching prospect. Maybe he comes out. I think the bigger killer is the heel injury. Because I feel like with Cole, when Cole was hurt last year, the Yankees got through it. You know what I mean? Heel was a big part of that.
Sure.
Now it's, okay, where do we go from here? How do we get better with what we have already in stock? Rodon, I don't trust. Stroman, I don't trust. Fried is going to do what he does. We know that. You have Schmidt. And then who's your fifth? It's going to probably have to be Will Warren. I don't know of anybody else. So to me, where I'm at with the New York Yankees is that the season's not dead, not over. They're still the best team in the American League. So everybody needs to relax. It sucks that Cole got hurt for them. Trust me, as a Met fan, I've been through it with Jacob deGrom a billion times. It's the worst feeling. But there's room, and also there's the trade deadline, other time to improve on your team. All right? That's the reality. Right, Speedy?
Maybe the Mets will go and Clay Holmes back.
Hey, listen, he's killing it in this spring training. Is he not? Would that be something if he actually pitches well?
Yeah, but this is the time when he normally pitches well. It's the second half. You got to worry.
See what happens. But the famous pitching lab. Let's get to March Madness and what's going on. So, do we have any games? We should have games going on right now.
Yeah, there's enough conference tournaments going on right now.
Wisconsin survived. It shouldn't have been that hard. It really shouldn't have been that difficult. I mean, they won what, 70 to 63. But obviously, we'll get to the Duke story in a second about Cooper Flagg and everything like that. This is where John Shire makes his hay, right, Speedy?
Yeah, and I know there's only one person on this network that likes it, and it's not Errol. It's Carl.
Yeah, well, St. John's won by 21. And it's funny, Patino hated how his team performed today. It was the funniest thing. Hated it. Meanwhile, they shot 35% from 3-point. That's good. That's better than their average at 29.
Yeah.
So to me, I said that's a great game for them. Granted, they were 7 for 20. It's not great. But when you shoot 29%, okay? And then here's the thing about St. John's. They're a drive to the rim, big-bodied guys. That's what they are. They have length and rim protection and rebounding. I mean, they had 44 think about this. They had 44 rebounds today. I mean, it's crazy how big these guys are. RJ Lewis was great for them. Who won? He won Big East Player of the Year? So when I look at what Lewis did, they have other guys. Kadari Richmond, who's one of the best point guards in the conference. I know the conference is down this year. Everything like that.
A little bit, but it's not bad.
No, I mean, look, Creighton's going to get in. UConn's going to get in. Marquette's going to get in. That's probably it. Maybe Xavier. I doubt
they're a
it.
bubble team right now,
Yeah.
but I think they lost though, so I think
they lost to Marquette.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, they're going to need a lot of help, I think, to get in.
But I here's the thing. I don't know. They lost by 2 to Marquette.
87. That's brutal.
So now Marquette gets St. John's tomorrow at 6:30. That's going to be a big ticket. When I see a team like St. John's, I look to myself and I say, how's this team going to survive March without their outside scoring? But I think when you have guys that can drive to the rim, guys that can rebound and post up really well, and as I said on the show last week when Eric was here, they're going to go into every single game with the coaching advantage. They are. Because they have one of the best coaches to ever coach in college basketball, in Rick Pitino. So they're going to have a coaching advantage in every game, no matter who they're going up against. But I could not believe who was coaching Butler, by the way.
Oh, what do we got now?
Thad Matta.
Oh, wow.
My God, did you know he was there?
I didn't.
I did. I saw that too, and I'm like, wow. Remember, he had those great teams with Conley and Odin on Ohio State, and then they went to he had Evan Fournier.
Yeah, they went.
Not Evan Fournier.
Evan Turner.
Evan Turner.
Yeah, they went to the finals.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, he still coaches? I mean, Butler stinks, but
no, they haven't. Yeah, they haven't been the same team in a while.
Well, again, it's the
It's
also it's the money, the nil money. Does Butler have the same money that St. John's has? It's a matter of, but I thought what was interesting was I was watching the game today. I'm watching it. And it's the Big East tournament. Okay. And the St. John's got the whole pomp and circumstance as the intro for themselves at the Garden. Isn't it supposed to be like a neutral tournament?
pretty much.
They didn't give that today. St. John's got the whole intro and they got everything. Everything. They got the video on the board. So I was like, okay, that's fair. To me, when I view the whole situation with how the Big East is, I don't know. I view the Big East is down. But listen, St. John's, they're going to be I think they're going to be a 2 seed.
Yeah, this bracketology, this is CBS Sports projecting as a 3 right now.
Is that Cats?
It's Jerry Palm.
How do you not if they win their conference and they're 23-4?
I mean, yeah.
How do you not enter the 6th team in the country? How do you not make them a 2 seed?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, no, actually, yeah, because they have right now A&M as a 2 seed, but they're actually
what's their
right
quad?
now, so.
Well, you have to remember their quad wins and all that. You gotta get. See, this is your territory now.
This is
what do we call? What is Speedy? You like to talk about?
The Ken Palm.
No,
numbers?
you get when you get on the numbers. What are the numbers called? It's in baseball. What do you go by? Analytics. You get by the sabermetrics. This is Speedy territory.
Well, yeah. What with this bracketology? This is obviously not updated for today's games, but Texas A&M was a 2 seed, and they're losing right now. So they're losing at Texas, which is not a bad loss. So yes.
No, and the coach is going to get fired from Texas too.
St. John's would get booted up to the 2. Actually, because
wait, he had A&M as a 2 seed.
At least as of yesterday.
Are you sure?
I'm looking at it.
They're 14th in the country, and they're 22-9.
That's what it's projected as right now.
They're morons.
Because they have 7 quad 1 wins. But
so the 4-1 teams: Duke, Auburn, Florida. Not gonna be Alabama.
No, it's Houston right now.
Houston.
Alabama's the highest 2 seed though. Tennessee's not far behind.
And then the 2 seeds are what? Houston, Tennessee. No, Alabama, Tennessee.
Right now, Michigan State and going to be St. John's eventually.
Okay, yeah, Michigan State's going to win the Big Ten.
And then it's your Wisconsin Badgers, not far behind.
They're going to lose in the first round. I'm telling you what's going to happen.
All right,
or whatever they call it, the second round.
Pick your 14th seed to beat Wisconsin.
This team looks interesting. Abilene Christian. They're 16-15 in the WAC conference. They'll find a way to sneak into the tournament. Marist will do it.
Oh.
How about this Bethune-Cookman? That'll be another one that could do it. They look pretty good.
Oh, here we go. SIUE, a 15 seed right
There
now.
you go.
First ever tournament appearance.
Oh, they'll be the ones to do it. The time they went toe to toe with Texas A&M Corpus Christi, but that was also because what's name got hurt. Brian Butch got hurt. That team would have had Cameron Taylor, Alonzo Tucker, and Brian Butch, and then Butch got hurt in the Big Ten championship, and they were beating Ohio State, I remember, by 12, and then Butch went down with he tore his Achilles, and then they were just so defeated. They barely got out of the first round, and then they lost in the second round. And that team was supposed to be really good, that Tucker team. But it was, and the Kaminsky team should have won a championship.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were so much better than Duke. It wasn't even close. Grayson freaking Allen decided, hey, let me be Steph Curry for 5 minutes and choke up threes and hit every shot.
Before he was hated.
But when I look at this whole situation of where March Madness is, I obviously got to get it. We're going to go through it next week when Eric's here. I know the tournament would have started already.
Yeah, you're going to get like at least probably 10 games done already.
That's fine, but we'll have our Final Fours. We'll have our champion, all that good stuff. We will have all that. I'm not picking Duke. I'm just throwing it there now.
We know you're not picking Wisconsin.
Oh, definitely. St. John's interests me, but the problem with St. John's is the 3-point shooting scares me.
And they're like kind of too new, probably.
But the thing is they have Patino. I wonder if Arkansas is going to get now. They lost today.
They're right now in, but yeah, it's going to take a lot.
Calipari did a horrible job coaching this year. But again, Calipari doesn't know how to do X's and O's. He knows how to just recruit players.
Right now, they're projected as a 10 seed, but that's really fringe.
Well,
even.
Texas is about to beat A&M, and Texas is a bubble team.
Yeah,
they're not even a bubble team. They're literally like on the out. Yeah, there's 13 seconds. Yep. So they're up by 4 with 13 seconds. So they're going to win. So A&M is going to be eliminated from the SEC.
Yeah. They're not even one of the first 4 out in this one. North
Carolina.
Second 4 out. Yeah, they probably. They don't even show it here. So.
But Speedy, who would you say who's your favorite right now? If you sat here today, I know you're going to probably say Auburn.
I'm going to say Houston right now. Actually,
Houston, but no scoring.
Or Alabama. I'm actually torn.
You're going with Alabama, who just lost at home to Auburn.
Yeah, I think this is the best defensive team they've had. And then
you think it's better than Sampson's team in Houston?
Houston's got the defensive stalwarts, and I think their offense, they're still efficient enough. Like their net rating is still pretty high. So
do you like St. John's in any way?
I do. I think those types of physical teams can make a difference.
I mean, they got big boys.
Yeah, they get. You've seen that with some of these random Final Four teams that go on a run, like you saw with NC State last year, just with the size that they have.
What about Michigan State and Izzo having another run at this? Because it's been a while for him.
They're a weird one. They do better as an underdog than they do as a favorite. So that's a strange one.
Yeah, for me, it's fetching. I would have liked to actually Duke get the Cooper Flag injury scares me because he's not going to be 100% going forward. He's just not. And that worries me a lot. And they also lost Brown today, too, who was their next best player.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He separated his shoulder, they said.
Mm-hmm.
So, John Shire's got his work cut out for him.
Real coaching.
Well, that's, what we call that? We call that being a real coach. And if he wins a championship, Errol can't say a word about it. He lost his 2 best players. He can't say a word about it because if he wants to make fun of him all you want, let me tell you something. Do you think Coach K would have done well if Jahlil Okafor got hurt when they won their national championship? But now John Shire, the savior, John Shire, does it without the number 1 player in the country. Wow. Kudos to him. He deserves a raise. Not sponsored by the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, but he deserves a raise.
No, sponsored by Carl.
Carl would do it in 5 seconds.
Carl would be the first one invited to the parade.
I mean, in all seriousness, when you lose your 2 best players and you have to figure out going forward, okay, he already said that he's keeping Flag out for the rest of this tournament because he doesn't find the tournament necessary. And he's not wrong because they're going to be a 1 seed. They have, 3 losses on the season. It's already done for them anyway. That's number 1. They don't need the ACC tournament. It's not going to hurt them ranking-wise. Because the reality is, when you look at where Duke is and how far ahead they are in the standings, they're not the number one overall team. I believe Auburn is that team.
Yeah, I think whoever wins the SEC will probably be the
Yeah,
number one overall
which,
seed.
by the way,
Whether it's Auburn-
Florida.
I was going to say that too, yeah.
Yeah, Florida's hot right now, and Florida just needs a rebound after last year losing in the second round last year. So I view the teams that I like a lot. I like Auburn a lot. They have a lot. I think they're the perfect team. Scoring, defense, depth wise, they have all of that you can ask for at Auburn. Florida's fascinating because they're hot right now. Very hot right now. Good team. Michigan State, I always trust Izzo. It's been a while since he's had one of these runs. Wisconsin, just kidding. Psych you out. I only want to put St. John's in here, not because of the local biasness, but because of the coaching and Pitino figuring it out. Like, it really is no joke that Pitino is somebody that really can get the best in these moments, and he's done it in the past. I'm trying to. I mean, that's where I'm at right now. I think a team that could kind of go on the up and up is Marquette because of Smart. The problem is their depth is a little concerning.
Yeah,
and
that's how they always
defense
tend to be.
is iffy.
It's better than it was last year.
Oh, 100% it was, but
Yeah.
they've underachieved this year. They know that.
Oh, sure.
A team that I don't like Arkansas.
No.
Don't like them at all. I'm actually trying to be funny. I don't like Wisconsin right now. I don't like them. They're kind of limping into this tournament with injuries and everything. It scares me a lot. Iowa State losing to BYU. Now BYU is also ranked, but again, Iowa State, we never know with them. And obviously Texas A&M doing what they did today was a disaster.
They're a very weird team.
And Duke. I don't like Duke right now with these injuries. They better hope it's just an ankle injury for Flag.
Yeah, it seems like he's gonna be able to at least play in the tournament, but yeah, they'll keep him out of the ACC.
He's not even gonna be 100% though.
No, he's not.
And that screws them. All right, Speedy. It is our time for our favorite segment. It is time for the You're Better Than That. Speedy, what is yours tonight?
All right, so I'm from Connecticut. Some of my friends and I like to mock this team because we're like one of the worst teams in college basketball and just Division I college sports in general, and that was a Central Connecticut State. They actually had a chance to win the conference and make the tournament for the first time in forever, and they lose to a 14-18 team. So you're better than that.
My You're Better Than That segment, it goes to. We didn't really get much into this. In regards, it's the whole Tampa Bay Rays situation. It's an mitigated disaster. The stadium deal is now up in flames. It's done. It's over. The owner doesn't want to pay for the extra cost. I have no idea what they're going to do with the team. I'm sure Manfred was not thrilled about hearing this stuff today, but Sternberg and those guys, you better figure it out. That team's got to move somewhere else. So, Sternberg, Tampa Bay Rays, Major League Baseball, you're better than that. Check us out every single Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, on Instagram, on YouTube, on all different social media platforms. Don't forget to check out Jabba and the Mouth every Monday and Wednesday at 7:30s. Also on TikTok and all smart devices as well, and speakers and the world and everything. And then some. Check out the Weekend Crunch on Saturdays at 7 p.m. with Errol and Speedy on 103.9 FM. You can check them out there and all other great shows that we have here on this network. Speedy, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Eric will be back next week. It's going to be a lot of March Madness next week. I'd say about 90% of that show is going to be March Madness. Unless the Giants sign Aaron Rodgers. And we'll discuss that. I think he's going to the Steelers.
Instant reaction. No,
I think he's going to the Steelers. Is it in your head he's going to Pittsburgh?
I think so.
Okay.
And it's going to be like a him Metcalf picking. So, oh boy.
They'll have the pick of the litter to throw the football to. Well, for Eric Bowe, for Speedy Petey, I'm Josh Silverberg. Thank you so much to the fans for listening and watching us. This is Game On live on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy your sports.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.